Good morning, everyone. Farmer Andrew here. Day 3 of the job in Sandy. We are making good progress as we go. I'm just going to walk from our start point to the current work area. So we've got this first bunch of blackberries all cleared out. We've pushed back a little bit farther. You can see that one hedge that was standing about 4 or 5 feet high is gone now, and you can probably see the remains of alder tree that came down. It was rotten at the base and fell over, and I cut it up. My clients are using a wood stove for heating, and so when I find salvageable wood on the ground, as I often do, I will cut all that stuff up. Depending upon this job, they may come out with quite a bit of firewood. I've had jobs where I produce more than a cord over the course of, or maybe even 2 over the course of the work. So I had hoped yesterday to complete this section right here, but that did not happen because the goats, as soon as I had cut a hole in that hedge low enough for them to get through, they established this little path here by themselves and then came over into this little meadow here. And I'd like to comment on this because it's pretty interesting. So this is a goat's favorite place to be because all of this forage is really low to the ground. It's really accessible. The canes that exist are relatively low. That's maybe a foot or 2 in height. Very easy to get around. And you can see the forest of canes here. So these guys have been working on this area since, I don't know, about 10 o'clock yesterday morning. And in that time, they have substantially reduced the density of the ground cover. This area looked more or less like this untouched patch right over here by the fence. So you can kind of see a difference. This is maybe 8 hours of grazing, so you can see how dense this is. And you turn around and you see what the goats have done. And so essentially what they have taken care of is all these nice, soft, edible leaves that are full of moisture and really delicious. They've eaten, and what they leave behind are these canes here, right? And so what I can do after they have finished with this section of the property, I can come through and find all these stripped canes and just whack them off at the ground with my machete. It's very fast, it's very easy. So from my perspective, I love these kind of areas too, because in all frankness, the goats are doing the lion's share of the work here. There's so much biomass that's available to them, they're taking most of it. And you know, you can contrast that with areas like this behind me, which are sort of heavily wooded all the way up there. And I think that if I sat down and studied the total leaf coverage area, there's probably more things in this section that they would eat, leaves for example, all the way up. But the problem is I can't get that high, neither can they. We can go up about 6 feet. So paradoxically, areas like this, where there is more for them to eat, even though everything is much lower, can sometimes take longer for us to get through relative to areas like this, because underneath that canopy there are leaves down there, but not nearly as many as you'd think. It's pretty dark underneath that forest canopy, and so there's just not a lot growing down there. There's a lot of bare earth going on underneath those trees. So this section will probably go relatively fast. I'll cut down the branches I can reach just to open up some space in there. I might take down a few smaller saplings that aren't going to make it anyway because they're being excluded from the available light. And the goats will of course eat the leaves on the branches I take down and the saplings I take down, but I think that overall that's just going to be less available material to them than a pasture like this. So it looks like they are so happy with the amount of browse available that they're just moving on to other things. So we'll come back, we'll make several passes over this area over the next week or so that we're going to be doing this job. Actually, I've allocated 12 days to this job, and this is day 3. So they're going to have plenty of chances to keep tearing this down, and I'm sure that by the time they are done, it's going to be pretty flat over here. And we're going to work on the fence line a little bit today too, but basically that's progress on the Sandy job, day 3. The goats are going exploring. I'm going to go keep an eye on them. This is Farmer Andrew saying, have a great day.